What's up, guys? Toogie here, back again with some more NHL 16 and my Boston Bruins GM mode. And in this episode, we recap the finished season. Now, at the end of last episode, obviously we ended abruptly with the injury to Malcolm Subban just prior to the trade deadline. And I made some moves, I simmed through the season, and had some tech issues once again that are just plaguing this series. So, at this point, rather than re-recording, I'm going to show you guys exactly what happened because it's pretty miraculous. So, what happened exactly? We finished second place in the Atlantic Division, tied in points with Buffalo. They beat us on tiebreaker, but again, second place in the Atlantic Division after looking like we probably weren't even going to make the playoffs. We are playing the Detroit Red Wings in the first round. Of course, in next episode, we'll start with the playoffs because, of course, as always, I want to give you guys a chance to give me your feedback on what we should do. But, of course, the story of how we got here is a little bit interesting. Now, we'll take a look at Detroit's lineup as well, probably in this episode or maybe in next episode. But really, the key thing is our lineup. So let's get into this. Artemi Panarin finishes as our leading scorer with 57 points. But again, the big thing here, not that we finished tied, but I figured I'd show you guys anyway. We just barely sneaked past and beat Detroit. But looking at player stats, the big thing here is going to be goaltending. Now, as we take a look, there's an unfamiliar name here. It's Anton Forsberg, who we acquired for prospect Liam Murphy. We also got 2 draft picks back in the deal. And look at these numbers: 13, 2-1. A 197 goals against and a 933 save percentage. While his numbers aren't exactly equal to that of Andrew Hammond, he was our version of the Hamburglar this year. An incredible run for a goalie who wasn't playing. He was third string, just sitting there on Columbus. We pick him up, 27 years old, and he leads us to the playoffs. He is the reason why I didn't want to re-record and start from fresh, because simply put, it was an incredible run. Antti Ranta, despite going up to an 84 overall, just really couldn't hang. He was simply outplayed at every turn by Anton Forsberg. Now, Malcolm Subban is back. He is fully healthy, but the morale system is fucking with him a little bit, to be honest. He's down to an 89 overall. He's just healthy again. He hasn't played a game for us. He's just healthy again. But if you take a look at the morale log, look at how shitty this is. April 15th, he recovers from an injury, but 2 days prior, he complains about being scratched. Makes no goddamn sense at all, and I'm really starting to get sick of EA's morale system. I really am. It's a nice idea, but the execution of it just simply isn't that great. It's far too inconsistent, and I'm sorry, no goalie is going to complain about being scratched when they are 2 days away from recovering from an injury. But regardless, he is here, he is ready to play, and hopefully ready to lead us into the playoffs. And if he's not, I'm honestly not afraid to go with Anton Forsberg. Defensively, now of course this is interesting as well. As you can see, Brendan Montour suffering from really the same thing I'm afraid Malcolm Subban's going to suffer from, and the same thing that happened to Brad Marchand in the playoffs last year. Simply put, Montour missed some time. He was fully healthy. We sat him for he came back. He was available. We sat him for 1 game so he could be fully healthy. He dropped from an 86 to an 81 and has only since rebounded to an 82 overall, which scares the hell out of me because this is his last year for true progression at 26 years old. But he's an 82. He finished with an incredible 23 goals and 24 assists and a plus 11. So again, I'm nervous as hell that he hasn't rebounded as much as he should, but again, that is because of EA's faulty system. Torrey Krug finishes with a respectable 34 points. He is a -8 though, and 88 overall. He ended up playing the last half of the season with Victor Hedman, who's up to a 90, finished with 20 points and is a -4. And of course, same questions as always, what we should do with the lines. Is pretty much going to be the main 6 that we roll with. It's just who do they play with? Krug and Hedman were great last year. This year they struggled a little bit, but the point total is there. Not quite sure what to do. Brendan Carlo is up to an 84 overall. He finished with 16 points. Jeremy Lozon, 87 overall. He finished with 10 points and was a +6. And Jacob Zaboral, an 84 overall. So between those 6 guys, obviously Sean Day and Austin Strand aren't quite ready yet, but between those 6 guys, what do we do? Who should be paired up with who as we enter the playoffs in the first round against Detroit? Right wings, and here is a big name that really picked up for us. Cam Atkinson, he's an unrestricted free agent. We just traded away a bunch of prospects that weren't going to pan out to get him. I believe we acquired him when he had 43 points, maybe 47, something like that, but regardless, he's done pretty well for us. 56 points in total. At the start of the sim, we had Colton Sceviour and Joffrey Lupul. Neither really panned out too well, so Cam Atkinson did incredibly well for us, although most of those points, of course, were with the New York Islanders, who we acquired him from. Nail Yakupov, not too bad of a year either, as this continues to freak out for some reason. 51 points, 18 goals, 33 assists. He was a +17, playing anywhere between the second and fourth line left wing spot. Again, completely stacked at left wing after discovering Leon Draisaitl's terrible face-off rating. And David Pastrnak, a little bit disappointing this year, only 41 points. Finished as a +4 though, if we're able to look at his stats. He had 64 points last year. This is his lowest point total since the 2014-15 season. Very, very disappointing from him, but obviously the talent is still there. Joshua Ho-Sang just could not get it going this year. 31 games, only 9 points. He was a -14. The only reason he isn't in Providence is we can't send him down, or couldn't send him down until now without the risk of losing him. Colton Sceviour got some games in, most of them not with us. We just acquired him as a depth guy. Zachary Senchum, we gave a couple of games, 31, 6 points, -11. He just did not pan out. Neither did Keanu Yamamoto, despite the point total, or despite the overall, only 3 points. We'll probably send him down to Providence as well now that we can. Left wings, these were the big 3 guys. Artemi Panarin, Goodrow, and DeBrusk all tied for the league, or for the team lead in points. Panarin 29 goals, 28 assists. Goodrow and DeBrusk both 15 and 42, so incredibly well done for them. And again, stacked at left wing. Joffrey Lupul, now that you look at it, wasn't too bad. 6 points in 16 games, so maybe he should slot in to that bottom right, or to the bottom line right wing spot, since those young guys simply aren't getting it done. Ho-Sang couldn't do it, Senchun couldn't do it, Keanu Yamamoto couldn't do it. Maybe we should give Lupul a shot. And of course, I'll give you guys a look at the lines to see what we should do. And then at center, Ryan Strome, who we picked up for the Blake Spears and Paquin Boudreau trade, finishes with 56 points. Austin Czarnik as well, a -12, which is concerning, but 53 points, not bad from him. Bergeron, 46. Riley Nash, who we acquired earlier in the last episode, 40 points. Leon Draisaitl, only 31 points, 7 goals, a tremendous disappointment. Say what you want, but when he was playing on the top line, he wasn't getting it done. Really not getting it done all season. So a pretty disappointing season. Obviously, we'll give him another chance next season. But if he's starting to struggle next season, maybe we will look at flipping him. And maybe that Tuukka Rask trade goes down as a big-time bust. But there you get a look at what the team has done. And actually, I shouldn't have backed out. Let's take a look at what is going on down in Providence. And then, of course, we will take a look at the lines. But down in Providence, of course, we have some big performers, but every time we do, whenever they make the jump, they just don't work out. Zev Piloff's 54 points, 46 for Fellhaber, 45 for Harkins. Lupul, of course, doing well in the AHL. Trevor Cox, not too bad, 40 points, someone we picked up in a throwaway trade, and really he only played half the season, so maybe he is someone we should look at keeping. Travis Raymond, not too bad. Lier didn't do the greatest either, but there you have the numbers. Feel free to look at the rest of them, and I'll give you, of course, a quick look at the lines. Here's what we have been rolling with, but should this continue? How should we set up these lines? Should we go with the most points? Should we go with the lefties on the left side, righties on the right side dynamic? Where should guys go in terms of these lines? And really, who should be in that fourth line spot? Should we stick with Yamamoto? We're not going to go with Hosang. He's been terrible. He is getting sent down. Ranta's our only other scratch. But in the AHL, who should we give the shot to? Should we give it to Joffrey Lupul, the veteran? Should we try to give it to Senshin, Harkins, Fellhaber, Zhevpolovs, the leading scorer in Providence? That decision is up to you guys. Let me know down in the comments below. And that is pretty much it for this abbreviated episode. Again, it kind of sucks. I lost the footage that I did, but again, with the incredible run from Anton Forsberg, I didn't want to lose the progress we had made. We are in the playoffs yet again, desperate to make it to at least the conference finals, but of course the ultimate goal is the cup. I want your help to do it. One more time I'll say, let me know down in the comments below how these lineups should go, and I will see you all in the next episode as we start the Season 5 playoffs against the Detroit Red Wings. Thank you all for watching.